Hello, I'm the Irresolute Cartographer, and this is an addendum to my Fallout New Vegas lore video covering the Powdergangers. If you haven't watched that video yet, I suggest watching it first and then coming around for this. When I published my lore video on the Powdergangers yesterday, it was brought to my attention that I missed noting one of the Powdergangers. In this video, I'll correct that mistake and two other oversights. While I mentioned that there were Powdergangers in Nipton, I forgot to mention Boxcars, a crippled Powderganger that can be found in the Nipton General Store. Much of what Boxcars has to say is central to the story of Nipton, a story I'll tell in a dedicated video, but I think the following will suffice for the purpose of covering the Powdergangers generally. Boxcars was part of a group of Powdergangers that made their way to Nipton after the revolt at the NCRCF. Here they planned to kidnap NCR soldiers on leave, ransom them, and keep their guns for themselves. Just when they were about to spring their trap, they found themselves surrounded by Caesar's Legion. In the aftermath of the Legion's occupation of Nipton, Boxcars was left in the Nipton General Store in crippling pain from his pair of freshly broken legs. When the courier arrived in Nipton, the way Boxcars greeted them was highly dependent on the courier's previous interactions with the Powdergangers. If the courier had helped the people of Good Springs kill Joe Cobb, or assisted the NCR in the assault on the NCRCF, Boxcars was incredibly unhappy to see them, referring to them as the Powderganger Grim Reaper. If the courier hadn't harmed or helped the Powdergangers in a significant enough way, he greeted them grumpily. However, if the courier had helped the Powdergangers in Good Springs, the NCRCF, and Vault 19, he was happy to see them, and hoped that the courier would help him. Sorry for all the beeping, by the way, but Boxcars has to be one of the most foul-mouthed characters in the Fallout universe. And with YouTube's new vague guidelines on profanity, I figured it was better to be safe than sorry. Anyway, the help that Boxcars asked for was doses of Med-X. The courier was able to give Boxcars 1, 2, 3, or 5 doses of Med-X. Boxcars was able to take any of these amounts, but he preferred more rather than less. Aside from asking for Med-X, Boxcars mentioned to the courier that the Legion took slaves from Nipton with them to the east. The courier told Boxcars that they would go after these slaves and set them free, but Boxcars didn't care. After traveling up the winding road into the hills east of Nipton, the courier found the slaves they sought at the Legion raid camp. Here we see two more Powdergangers I should have mentioned. Anyway though, after dispatching the Legion soldiers, the courier freed the Powdergangers, gaining some rep with their organization. On returning to Boxcars, the courier found that he was indifferent to the plight of his fellows that were nearly forced into servitude, and he said simply that he was angry that the courier didn't arrive in time to save him. There's one more member of the Powdergangers that I showed but didn't name in the video, and that's Philip Lim. When the Powdergangers in Vault 19 stalled out in their mission to make war on the NCR, Lim emerged as the leader of a faction that wanted to surrender to the NCR and hope for mercy. Lim was, at one point, a thief who stole from NCR camps until he was caught and incarcerated at the NCRCF. He was one of Cook's original acolytes that assisted in the revolt, but became disenchanted with Cook when he found himself hiding in a vault with no end in sight to his confinement there. Alright, hopefully that'll do it for the Powdergangers. I want to thank viewer Creature Feet for pointing out the fact that I missed Boxcars. Just as when I missed Glory's role and Curie's content, I'll again say, if you see that I've missed something, let me know. If it's something big enough, I'll make an addendum video such as this, and I'll thank you for letting me know. I want my lore videos to be as accurate as possible. Sometimes I miss things. Alright, I think that'll do it for this addendum. This has been the Irresolute Cartographer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.